We are here today with Mason Murphy, a sociologist from Utah State University. So, Mr. Murphy, when discussing sexual orientation and inequality, it is stated that males, older people, the less educated, and more religious people exhibit higher levels of heterosexism. What do you think about this topic?
Well, when talking about this topic based off the theory of symbolic interactionism, as time has gone on, it's become more and more acceptable to come out and be homosexual. And the older generations have different views on this topic because they grew up in a time when being a part of the LGBT community was not as acceptable as it is today. And when discussing this topic from a religious view, some religions are strongly against homosexuality, and therefore a gay member of a religious community would often be afraid to come out and show their true self because of their fear of being judged by their peers.
Stephen Crambuel. I grew up in Mendon, Utah, a small rural town. I have traditional Christian values. Consider myself to be a religious man. Believe in the scriptures. Try to live the commandments. I believe in traditional values. I believe in traditional marriage. I believe that marriage between two men or two women is an abomination before God, and the scriptures declare it so. But that doesn't mean I hate them or I want to persecute them or hurt them, because God is a God of love. But I do believe that it is wrong, and I cannot vary from that. I believe that it's more psychological. I can't deny that there may be some biological occurrences, but I believe by far it's psychological, and the willingness to try different things, even sexually, brings it about. I mean, people that are so open and try things, they do find it pleasurable, and we all, want to repeat and seek things like that to a degree. So I believe that for the most part it is psychological. I believe in a lot of cases it could, simply because I use the word cure, and as I stated earlier, I believe there's some biological factors with a minority, but I feel that with the most it's psychological, and I'm not sure the cure is the right word to use in those cases. It's simply a preference, and they have found comfort and satisfaction and a sensual experience. I mean, we're not to commit adultery, we're not to commit fornication, which is sex outside of marriage, and we all could have base desires to do that, but we control ourselves and try and keep within the bounds that the Lord has set. And I believe, that's just, in a lot of cases, has been thrown out the window. And anyway. Heterosexual.
And we are back with sociologist Mason Murphy. So, Mr. Murphy, the stress of living in the LGBT community causes them to be at a greater risk for physical and mental health problems. What do you feel about this topic?
Well, rapid change in society threatens social order, and the acceptance of the LGBT community has quickly changed from once being frowned upon to now being socially acceptable. Because the change happened so fast, this could affect the stress and mental health level of those who are part of the LGBT community.
Okay, so how does this help with the function of society?
Well, when people are in need of assistance for their physical and mental well-being, they go to a doctor, therefore giving doctors jobs and responsibility, and by everyone playing a role in society, this helps society run smoothly.
No.
No.
Is there a stress about it or anything like that?
Not to us, it has
No.
been, and me personally,
Just natural,
like
right?
I have less stress and anxiety being myself and admitting this than I ever did before. When I felt like I had to hide it, nobody could know. Like actually being out and open and being who I am is a lot less stress and anxiety than pretending to be something I'm not.
I mean, I guess when you're trying to come out or debating coming out, I guess that can be high stress and anxiety for people, but for some
Yeah.
people it's really easy. The transition is.
Or maybe even like, I guess there's people asking like at work, for instance, like, what does your husband do? You know, you kind of have to feel out a person before you're just like, you know, you don't just walk up to him and, hi, I'm Fawn, I'm a lesbian, you know? Like, so there's a little bit of, I guess, it wouldn't call it stress or anxiety, but not really feeling like you're
Yeah,
ready to get to
timid,
know
you know?
people before you
Yeah,
let that all
before you-
out, but
Perfect. Okay.
So, Mr. Murphy, bullying and violence are big problems for the LGBT community. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you view it based on the conflict theory, people who are not in the LGBT community feel as if they have greater worth and power, and because they feel more powerful, they are more likely to bully those people that they believe are below them.
Thank you for your thoughts.
You're welcome.
When it comes to homosexuals being bullied, what do you think a possible solution could be to this problem?
I think it's important for us to have acceptance of everyone, that everybody can be different, and that if you come across somebody who gets bullied because of that you need to try to talk to them about acceptance, and it's a shame that other people can't accept them, and if they feel like they're getting bullied and harassed, that you should try and find them services, because there are a lot of services in the community and a lot of resources that you can connect them to, and it's important to ask them, you know, if they know what those resources are, and if not, then get them connected to those resources.
We are here today with Mason Murphy, a sociologist from Utah State University. So, Mason, when discussing the topic of sexual orientation and inequality, it is...
Jocey, keep your shit together. I can't even read
Jocey
that.
did it so good!
I have to read that. Like, I'm going to be going like this and then...